Parivrajkacharya Saraswati Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajkacharya Saraswati Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Kuri Vaishnava Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Sari Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Navadi Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Gangamai Ki Jai. Yamunamai Ki Jai. Tulsidev Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Nidai Gaura Premanandi Hari 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 Bol. All glories to the Assembly. Hare Krishna. All glories to the Assembly. Hare Krishna. All glories to the Assembly. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Molto Hare Krishna Stay Bhutri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Guruvani Madacharina Nirvishesha Shunamari Bhachartadishtarine. Can I have the phone? Hare Krishna, dear friends, please type Hare Krishna into the comment section.
Which
Facebook.
Facebook. Okay.
There's no mic.
I don't know what was
All right.
Prabhu's intention.
Hare Krishna, Devi Shakti, Haribol, Homie Gray, John Griffin, Bhakta Richie, very good, Bhakta Morgan, thank you. So these are our TikTok friends. Imbolc, Chitra Dabi, Hare Krishna. Stevo, mental health, Hare Krishna, Stevo. And on Facebook, Shamdai Mataji, Jackie, Markunze, thank you for the tag, for the tagging. Yes, we need to tag. Nara Singh Rao, Manish Pangeni, Bhaktin Bronwyn, Rudra Prakash, Neil Prabhu. Hare Krishna to everybody. So, where did we left off? Which one did you do? 35?
35 yesterday.
Okay. This is the mic?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. Michael, Hare Krishna. Michael at the manor. Anybody else? Okay, so third canto, chapter 22, text 36. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Saivam Svantaram Ninye Yuganameka Saptatim Vasudeva Prasangena Paribhuta Gatitrayaha Saivam Svantaram Ninye Yuganameka Saptatim Vasudeva Prasangena Paribhuta Gatitrayaha Saha He Swayambhuva Manu Evam thus Svantaram his own period Ninye past Yoganam of the cycles of 4 ages. Eka Saptatim 71. Vasudeva with Vasudeva. Prasangena by topics connected. Paribhuta transcended. Gatitrayaha the 3 destinations. Translation: He passed his time, which lasted 71 cycles of the 4 ages. In other words, 71 times 4,320,000 years. Always thinking of Vasudeva and always engaged in matters regarding Vasudeva. Thus he transcended the 3 destinations. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The 3 destinations are meant for persons who are under the control of the 3 modes of material nature. These destinations are sometimes described as the awakened, dreaming, and unconscious stages. In Bhagavad Gita, the 3 destinations are described as the destinations of persons in the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. It is stated in the Gita that those who are in the mode of goodness are promoted to better living conditions in higher planets, and those who are in the mode of passion remain within this material world on the earth or on heavenly planets. But those who are in the mode of ignorance are degraded to an animal life on planets where life is lower than human. But one who is Krishna conscious is above these 3 modes of material nature. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that anyone who engages in devotional service to the Lord automatically becomes transcendental to the 3 destinations of material nature and is situated in the Brahmabhuta or self-realized stage. Although Swayambhuva Manu, the ruler of this material world, appeared to be absorbed in material happiness, he was neither in the mode of goodness nor in the mode of passion or ignorance, but in the transcendental stage. Therefore, one who fully engages in devotional service is always liberated. Bilvamangala Thakur, a great devotee of the Lord, stated, "If I have unflinching devotion to the lotus feet of Krishna, then Mother Liberation is always engaged in my service. The complete perfection of material enjoyment, religion, and economic development is at my command." People are after dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Generally, they perform religious activities to achieve some material gain, and they engage in material activity for sense gratification. After being frustrated in material sense gratification, one wants to be liberated and become one with the absolute truth. These 4 principles form the transcendental path for the less intelligent. Those who are actually intelligent engage in Krishna consciousness, not caring for these 4 principles of the transcendental method. They at once elevate themselves to the transcendental platform, which is above liberation. Liberation is not a very great achievement for a devotee, to say nothing of the results of ritualistic performances in religion, economic development, or the materialistic life of sense gratification. Devotees do not care for these. They are situated always on the transcendental platform of the Brahmabhuta stage of self-realization. Om Agyantirinandasya Jnanajana Shalakayam Chakshunanmeritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master's divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of knowledge, I offer my humble obeisances unto his lotus feet. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. So, in the Bhagavad Gita class, we also discuss this topic right now. The three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So here Prabhupada says that these correspond to the 3 divisions of consciousness. There is the awakening, the dreamy stage, and then deep sleep, deep unconsciousness. Just like when you dream, then you see some things, in your dream, things are going on. It's like Mr. David Gilmer and things like that. Dhananjaya Prabhu had a dream that David Gilmer was chanting Shikshastakam prayers. That is Krishna consciousness, dreaming. But there's also this deep sleep when you don't remember anything. At the end of creation, all the living entities, they merge into the body of Mahavishnu, those who do not achieve liberation, because the material world is temporary. It has a saturation point where everything is destroyed. And then all the living entities who did not finish their process of liberation from material existence, they merge in the body of Mahavishnu, and they remain in this deep unconscious state. It is almost like being dead. The trees and mountains, because mountains also have a soul, believe it or not. One of the symptoms of the soul present in the body is growth. So the mountains, they grow. So these living entities, they're also in a state of deep unconsciousness, bacteria. If by performing many sinful activities, you receive a body of a bacteria, then you are almost not living. The consciousness is so covered. So these three stages of sleep or consciousness are connected to the modes of material nature. The awakened state, this is mode of goodness. Dreaming state, that is mode of passion. Oh, I want to be famous, I want to have money, I want to be the most beautiful, most knowledgeable, all these dreams. Material mode of passion creates intense hankering. So if we observe by self-analysis that we develop very, very great hankering, then we should be careful, because that is a mode of passion, and this great hankering ultimately results in suffering. In a mode of goodness, one has some sense. I should not be controlled by my desires. I should do whatever is good, whatever the Shastra recommends, not whatever I feel. These feelings, this is very, very dangerous. The platform of feelings. Of course, this doesn't mean that we should be without feelings. But the feelings should not take precedence over one's duty that is prescribed by the Shastra. Because the Shastra prescribes duty that is objective. Something that is beneficial for everyone. And our subjective feelings are only good for us. Our desires actually is not even good for us, it's good for the body. These material desires. And if we let loose these so-called feelings, we become controlled by lust and greed, and then we will harm other living entities. This is a law. Those who are lusty, those who are greedy, they're harming others. They must, because lust and greed cannot be satisfied. So then you encroach upon others' allotted property or space, and then you put them into anxiety. Just like the human being is not meant to eat meat. Eating meat this is for tigers. This is for tigers, for beasts. Not for a human being. But a human being has the facility. If he wants, then he can also eat meat. But that is sense gratification. That is his greed. Just like nowadays, in Western countries, you go to Tesco, you go to Lidl, and there's so many varieties of foodstuffs. You can buy, you can cook, so many fruits, so many vegetables. We're not in the communistic Russia. During communism in Russia, when Srila Prabhupada visited Moscow, his disciple Shyamasundar Prabhu, he went to do some shopping because they wanted to cook. And he could not find any vegetables, nothing. Only meat and milk. That's all. And you had to stand in a line for 10,000 years. This is the punishment because communism is atheistic. Communism rejects God. So the communist countries, they are always suffering. Lack of resources, lack of goods. This is a punishment. By the laws of material nature, the supply is restricted. So even Srila Prabhupada, I don't know if you know about this, but there was one disciple in Russia, at that time was USSR. What was his name? Ananta Shastri. Ananta Shastri. So he met Srila Prabhupada in Russia, in Moscow. He came, he met Shyamasundara randomly in the street. And Shyamasundara, because Srila Prabhupada came on the invitation of Professor Kotovsky from the university there in Moscow. He was an Indologist. Professor Kotovsky was an Indologist. The Russian people, they have interest. They're interested in Vedic culture. You see in Vrindavan, there's so many Russian devotees there. So, this Ananta Shastri, he came to see Prabhupada and he became so inspired that he started chanting Hare Krishna and he kept in touch with the devotees through correspondence. This was in 1971. Deep communism. And from this one devotee, the whole Krishna consciousness movement in Russia originated. Because he became interested and he preached to others, and this is how the movement spread. And this Hare Krishna movement in Russia was so powerful, people were very much attracted to it, because after so much oppression, God consciousness becomes attractive. Forbidden fruit. If you know that some fruit is forbidden, then you are very much eager to taste that forbidden fruit. So there are so many devotees, and they were even preaching to artists, actors, businessmen, highly elevated from the material point of view in the social structure of Russian society. They were also interested in Krishna consciousness. So ultimately, this Krishna consciousness movement, one of the KGB agents, or the bosses, the directors, he made a statement that the communism was, how do you say, cancelled. Communism fell. Communism fell down, failed, because of the Hare Krishnas. The KGB director, he said this was one of the many causes, but one of them was this Hare Krishna movement. The Russian people, they started reading Srila Prabhupada's books. There was no internet at that time, so they would make
handwritten copies of the Prabhupada's books. Because they couldn't print, right? The Communist Party was controlling everything. So they were doing a handwritten. In the apartment, they had one copy, Bhagavad Gita, and they would make handwritten copies. They were so eager to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. Now we have all the books available on the internet, and we're not reading. We'd rather go on TikTok and scroll the whole day and night. See, it's not forbidden fruit anymore. So maybe Krishna will again create such an atmosphere. Maybe the whole world will become communist. So we develop more taste for the forbidden fruit of Krishna consciousness. Of course, that will be horrible. Communism is a horrible social system. So anyway, this devotee, Ananta Shastri, Prabhupada wrote a letter. He said that even if he eats meat, that's okay because there's nothing to eat in Russia. So I will initiate him. This was one exception when Srila Prabhupada allowed a disciple to eat meat. Because there was nothing available. So at that time, if you eat meat, that is not a crime. Because the first priority is to save your own body. But now, in Tesco Little, there's so many varieties of foods. And if you choose meat, that is sense gratification. And for that, so many animals have to die. So this is not good. Low battery. This will implicate us in sinful reactions. You see? Sinful reactions. So a person who is in a mode of goodness, he understands, oh, why should I be controlled by my lusts, by my greed, by my senses? If later on I will suffer so much. This is intelligence. Just like you take precaution. When you go out, you dress, especially now in the cold season. You put on nice sweater, you put on coat, hat, thick socks. You don't go out, with the shorts. Because the consequences will be I'll be sick. I won't be able to enjoy anything. I'll be confined to bed and sweating and drinking hot tea. So nobody wants that. But a person who is in mode of passion, he doesn't care. Let me enjoy now, later on, I don't care. He doesn't care for the future. Sometimes the devotees, they're accused. Oh, you're just fanatics. You join Hare Krishna, you don't care for future. In the future, you will be worried. You will be sorry that you have wasted so much time chanting uselessly. And you will throw away your career, your family, this and that. But we can say also that you don't care for the future because your future is very dark. Right now, you're simply living for sense gratification. Enjoying so-called and harming so many living entities. Don't think that this will go unpunished. Tit for tat, yin-yang. There is a balance in material nature. So if you harm others, then you will be harmed. Although it is a fact that we must harm others in material existence, this is Martya Loka. You cannot avoid, even if you're walking down the street, you're stepping on so many ants, killing them. But at least we should not unnecessarily kill. This buying and eating meat, this is very unnecessary. People should stop this cruel slaughterhouses. Srila Prabhupada even said that in England, if devotees introduce this Krishna Prasadam in a form of Hare Krishna restaurants, then the British people will give up beef eating and meat eating. At least they will shut down the slaughterhouses. And when that happens, then the weather in England will become very sunny. There will be no more rain, no more cloud. The day is very cloudy, rainy. So that will disappear. This is all due to sinful activities. Just like in Russia, because they blaspheme against God, they don't worship God, they try to make people atheistic. So the supply is zero. They get no vegetables, no nothing. Maybe now it's different, but at that time, communism. Similarly, because of killing the poor animals, which is another form of atheism. Because if you kill an animal, that means that you do not believe in the Supreme Father. The Supreme Father, the Lord, He is the source of all living entities. So all living entities are His children. And if you're killing your siblings, then you are not actually a follower of God. You're a follower of Satan. Because any obedient son would never think of harming his siblings. Because he knows it will give great pain to the father. So this is also a reaction for sinful killing of the animals, this bad weather. Snow, rain, hurricane, tornado. These are not happening by accident. We must stop this accidental theory. Oh, it's by accident. The world came about by accident. Consciousness is in the body by accident. Everything, all the varieties of species, all the complexities of material existence were created by accident. What is this? What kind of a nonsense theory this is? Accident. Everything is accident. And they say this is science. Oh, you must accept blindly because this is science. And here Srimad Bhagavatam, oh, the personality is behind everything. Oh, this is dogma. This is blind faith. This is fanaticism. No, this is scientific. Any creation you see around you, just like in this room, there's so many creations. There's a cell phone, there's a book, there's a guitar, there's a camera, there's a drum. Someone had to design all of these. Someone had to engineer very nicely every single detail. And do you mean to say that this whole material manifestation, such a perfect creation, such perfect machine, came about by accident? You want to convince me about this? Well, where is the science there? It is simply obstinacy. Just like if someone is envious, he does not want to admit someone else's glories. Let's say, now I'm envious of Dhananjaya Prabhu, right? Because he's a very good book distributor. So if I become envious, and the other devotees, they're glorifying him. Oh, Dhananjaya, he did so many books. I said, no, he didn't do. I will try to somehow or other deny it, cover that truth, because I'm envious. So similarly, all these rascal scientists, all these rascal gurus, rascal materialists, they're simply envious of God. That's why they make up all these bogus theory, accident. And those who accept this accidental theory, they're also envious. They find it very convenient. Yes, it happened by accident. Ostriches. An ostrich, he puts his head in the ground when there's a danger. So as soon as the Vaishnavas, they smash the bogus arguments, just like ostriches, they put their heads in the sand and they don't speak to us. They run away. If you're such a big scientist and you defend your accidental theory. So this is all nonsense. Don't be misguided by these rascals. They're creating the greatest havoc in a society. They are the cause of all evil. Accidental theory. Because if you think that everything is by accident, then nothing matters anymore. There is no morality, there is no good, there is no bad, there is no crime. Everything is just an accident. Everything is illusion. Although they say like this, everything is accident, but there's so much full of material ambition to become praised, to become rich. Why you have any ambition? Just sit down and let everything happen by accident. Be loyal to your accidental theory. So, we're cultivating moral goodness, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavad Gita, using our intelligence to understand about the world, about God. In one sense, this Krishna consciousness movement is the only movement that is not a brainwash. This is the first time we're hearing a philosophy that is not contaminated by manipulative motives. Krishna's desire is to simply get us out of here. And everybody else, all these scientists, philosophers, and even spiritual so-called teachers, they're trying to bind us here with golden shackles of speculative philosophies. So Swayambhuva Manu, he was always thinking of Vasudeva. Although he was so much involved with material pleasures, but he was not bound by these pleasures. He enjoyed whatever was allotted to him by Krishna. And at the end of his life, he attained self-realization, perfection in Krishna consciousness. And he became liberated from material existence. So, the devotee is neither a materialist, neither a dry renouncer. Because he understands everything is the property of Krishna. Ishavasyamidam saram yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena taktena bhunjita magadakarasya svidanam. Everything animate or inanimate is the property of Isha, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Controller. And you have a right to enjoy whatever is destined to you by the Lord's mercy. That is called prasadam. Prasadam means mercy. It is given to you. And if you enjoy that prasadam, you will not be implicated, because that is given to you by Krishna. But if you want anything extra, and out of impatience you go to demigods or some other powerful beings to beg for these things, then you will be implicated. You will stay here in this material world suffering the results of your karma. So we should not be foolish. Engage everything in Krishna's service. If you know that God is behind everything, then take it to the next step. Now I must serve Him. I must render some service to Him. Not that God is there and I am here and that's okay. Let it be so forever. Try to develop a relationship with God. And that relationship should be in service, not in mastership. Oh God, please do this, do that. No. Try to serve Him. Try to inquire. What does Krishna want from me? He is the supreme, all-knowing master. Bhagavan, all the opulences He possesses. How can I please Him? What can I do? This should be the inquiry. Atata Brahma Jigyasa. And then the information is here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. from the words of the spiritual master, so much information is given. How to serve Krishna, how to become perfect, how to become Krishna conscious. So I'll stop here. Any questions? You're checking?
Mm-hmm. Jagannath Prabhu has a question.
Yes.
He's just writing it now.
Mm-hmm. So?
He says, I heard Prabhupada that he mentioned Krishna consciousness was a perfect communism. He's writing another. How do we understand it?
Yes, because in Krishna consciousness, Krishna becomes the supreme enjoyer. The idea of communism is good, but it is imperfect because they're missing Krishna. They want to make the state the highest. Let us serve state, but state is impersonal. You cannot serve a state. You can only serve a person. So that communism is actually dangerous because in the name of state, so many rascals would exploit the innocent citizens. So in Krishna consciousness, everybody serves Krishna. And when Krishna is pleased, then everybody is pleased. If you serve the state, well, the other state will be displeased. And they will attack you. They will throw a bomb on your head. You see, imperfect. Crooked thinking. My state is good, the other state is bad. That cannot make you happy. Another point is, Prabhupada pointed out that the communists, they say, oh, everyone is equal. Well, because the main principle of communism is everybody is equal. There should be no distinction. Like in capitalism, you have rich class, you have poor class. So communists, they artificially want to make all classes equal. But Srila Prabhupada pointed out that what about the animals? You say everybody is equal, but the animals you're killing. So what kind of communism is that? If you want to be communist, then be thorough communist. Respect the animals, don't kill them. Respect the trees, respect all living entities. But they cannot do that because the connection is missing. Why should he respect the animals? He doesn't understand the animals are children of God because the idea of God is missing. So a Krishna conscious person is thinking, even my enemy, he is also a child of Krishna. So whatever fight we have, that is sometimes necessary, but deep in his mind he does not hate because he understands this is my brother, eternal brother. We are all eternal brothers. Just like our relationship with God is eternal, similarly our relationship with all living entities is eternal. We're related to Krishna. Okay?
Peter Krishna has a question.
Yes?
He's wondering, please, how can we know if we serve Lord Krishna correctly?
You will feel prasanatma, you will feel bliss. What is this? You will feel good. Krishna says that this process is susukam, is joyfully performed. So if you are joyful, that is the sign, yes, I'm pleasing Krishna. And if you're morose, what again? They're asking me to come for the beautiful love feast? What a drag. That means you're not advancing, you're not pleasing Krishna. You have served simply for some motive, and when that motive was not fulfilled, all your enthusiasm dropped for Krishna consciousness. Next.
And then Jagannath Prabhu is wondering, so communism shall be all for Krishna, all in Krishna, nothing out of Krishna.
Yes. All in Krishna, all for Krishna, all in the service of Krishna. Service is important. To engage in service, not simply looking at Krishna. Oh, Krishna is very beautiful. Well, you must offer him something. Yes. Shamdai has a question.
On Facebook?
Yes, I'll read. Shamdai is asking, can one do too much devotional service? I've been trying to serve Krishna most of the time, but by the afternoon I become tired. Yeah, we should be careful so we do not commit the flaw of prayas? Over endeavor. No, that is collecting too much. Yeah, over endeavor. That is an obstacle in devotional service. Pratyahara. Prayas. So you must take care of your body. In order to serve Krishna, we should not destroy our body. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that even eating and sleeping for the devotee, that is devotional service. Why? Because he is eating and sleeping not for sense gratification, but to maintain the body, the body is a great instrument for serving Krishna. So we supply the food, we supply sleeping to the body. That is not for the devotee, that is not sense gratification. We should not be foolish. Oh, he's sleeping. One time Jayananda Prabhu. And Jayananda Prabhu went back home, back to Godhead. He's the only one that Srila Prabhupada declared he went back home, back to Godhead. Although Sri Vrindavan Dham is full of questionable samadhis, Srila Prabhupada noted that only Jayananda went back home, back to Godhead. And Jayananda was working very hard on the Ratha Yatra festival and in so many different ways. Very hard worker. So one time Jayananda Prabhu was sleeping. I'm not sure if in a class or doing a darshan, Jayananda was sleeping. And the devotees, they wanted to wake him up. Oh, why are you sleeping? You nonsense. But Prabhupada says, no, let him sleep. Because he has done so much service. So, yeah, take rest. If you need to take rest, it's not a crime. That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai. Jai Gaura Premanandi.
Hari Bol.